And you and I have broke down Jalen Hurts in the past. He's gotten better, but he still is a runner first. He's a crutch runner first, pocket guy second. Has played big in big games. We've seen it. But we're compartmentalizing and talking about this moment, this drive, this game. JB, I want to show you from behind, and as from the quarterback standpoint, of why mechanics and the simple details, the precise and dynamic stuff matters in a game. We saw him bail twice into trouble, which he didn't need to. Now freeze it right there. Go back to the snap where he's lined up in the gun for me, Bailey. I want you to see this. This is, regardless of the coverage on the outside, this is what we call, go back a little bit before he gets a snap, Bailey, for me. Just a little bit. If we can, closer, if that's where it starts. If we can get it.
This is as far back as it goes.
Okay, perfect. All right, thanks, buddy. Okay, so this, folks, is the middle of the field what? Open. Middle of the field open, and you got the tight end, which we call the bender, or, the whatever you want to label him, bender, doesn't matter. When the middle of the field is open on a seam route, we designate one guy the bender. And that right there, that Kendricks right there sitting on a hash mark, on the left hash mark, is your inside linebacker. In too deep or too high coverage, obviously he's got to be aware of the legs. He's got to be aware of the play action run game, but he's also got to get depth and get underneath to take the bender away, because those two safeties that are split have half the field trying to take away the whole shot on the outside, because they're going to take a shot down here. They needed a big play here. That's Eric Kendricks sitting there on the hash mark on the left. Now, when you talk about mechanics, and we talk about, JB and I talk about the urgency of getting the ball out on time and no wasted motion. I want you to watch here when this ball comes out, and then we'll rerun it. The ball, push it a little bit for freeze. Late. And you know why? When you're down there, first of all, when you get close to the red zone, everything's compressed because they got the back of the end zone. There's less ground to cover. Two, look at the depth of Kendricks. So he's already taken away that knowing the down and distance. But if you throw this, now back it up a little bit. This is one from the gun, under center to be 5 rhythm. In the gun, it's 1, 2, 3, quick ball. Back foot hits that ball's got to be out. Back up a little. Freeze. The ball right now. That ball should be out and thrown to grass. The bender, that ball should be thrown to grass. Kendricks is not getting that ball if it's about 2 to 3 yards thrown on a 1 ball, which is a rip shot inside the right hash mark. The safeties are not going to get there. But watch what the hitch does to 2 players. The hitch meaning the reset. The ball should be out right now, throwing to grass. It's a 25-yard, 22-yard throw. What does Kendricks do? Allows him to get more depth because you took an extra hitch and then a reset. Again, he hitches, then doesn't pull it, and then resets again. So it's like a 2 times the hitch. Now you allow him to get 2 or 3 yards deeper. And look, he barely got his hands on it. The ball should be out right now. But the hitch cost him. I don't care if I'm teaching a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old. It is 3 rhythm ball out. So the ball should be out right now. He holds it. Kendricks gets depth because he doesn't even have the check down. Barkley staying in, has nobody underneath him, not even a check down that would normally get out if he doesn't have a blocking assignment. The ball should be out one more time. He takes a hitch, then another freeze. Ball should already been out, and it's not out. Kendricks continues to get depth. The play side safety squats on it because that ball's thrown on time, even if it's a catch and a tackle. It's a first down, and you're inside with a chance to go score. His inability to throw it on time, mechanically sound, and with urgency cost them. This is all on Jalen Hurts. The ball should have been out a split second quicker without a hitch, and he not only took a hitch, he took a hitch and a slide and then threw it. Freeze. Ball should have been out. He's late. You don't need to see the receiver's eyes on a bender. You need to throw him to grass. The ball should be out right now. And Eric Kendricks has no shot to get to it. That extra hitch caused a knockdown, and then guys to drive on the football. JB, these are the little things that prevent teams from moving on, and that is specifically on Jay. Look at the pocket. Take your quick. What are you waiting on? See it? You already know pre-snap the middle of the field's open. You're trying to throw a bender. Your eyes should be on Kendricks. Boom. Free second. That third step hits the ground on 3 quick. Ball has got to be out. The timing of this mechanically is what gets you at home with you and I watching playoffs, and that's exactly why this happened. Late with the football.
Yeah, I think the play call and design was egregious to put Jalen Hurts in that situation.
Still got to throw on time, though, JB. I can't make an excuse. The ball's in his hand. I understand what you're saying. Yeah. Number 2 is, why isn't Barkley out? Well, why isn't he on the check down to catch the ball and get it in space and give me a chance to get a first down? Yeah. Right. I don't care where. Get him out, or if he's going to replace Mike with Kendricks with a check down and let him work in space that he did all last year. This ball's got to be out now. Regardless of design, the ball's in his hand. The game is on the line. You can't take one mistake on a play design and then screw it up by throwing the ball late on a bender. There should be no hitch here. 3 out, balls on time. You're throwing to grass. You've got to trust that they're going to get to grass. And at no time in my career would I teach anything different on this seam bender with too deep, too high safeties. Ball's got to come out.
That's a big trust. I don't know if he gets – I don't know if Matthew Stafford can fit that in there with that.
Oh, dude, I disagree. I've made this throw 50 times in my life. 50 in games.
No. I just think you occupy.
And my arm's stronger than Jalen Hurts anyway. So, but if you see, here's what happens. Here's why Stafford or Josh Allen. But the problem is, you're right. Even with those guys, if you've got 6 Russian cosmonauts and a micrometer throwing it after a hitch and they got a rifle on Elway, he would have trouble fitting it in if he hitched. But if you go back one more time, dude, I've made this throw to Chris Carter. I'm just telling you, freeze. See, he hitched up. Then he pumps and ball pats, and he's late. Right now, you do have to trust. That's part of the problem. Go back again one more time, Bailey. This ball, if you're doing it right, freeze. The ball should have already been
halfway
out.
there.
He took a hitch, and he's got a wide.
Yeah.
That ball, the second the back foot hits, you know the down distance. You know the game situation. To me, freeze. That's a huge window in the NFL. That is a monster window. And you know what? You've thrown it a million times. We've seen these tight ends make a play. You're eliminating a million times chance. You're exactly right. Hurts' arm isn't strong enough to throw with a hitch and a slide. Hell, Elway's arm, you got to have a gun with a friggin' howitzer. And even then, if you hitch, it's going to be late because nobody's holding Kendricks. He continues to get depth because he knows what the route is. And there's
nobody's holding anyone, Sean. Nobody's holding anyone. They ran 2x2 4 vert.
Right. And outside release, those safeties, you should be hauling ass to hold them outside. But even if that safety on the right hash that's driving gets there, it's a catch and a tackle. This ball must be out. See how he's ready to throw it? Look, ball's loaded. What are you waiting on? Pull it. And then you didn't. That, you know what we don't do? Go hunt. For those people who hunt duck or go hunt birds, when you pump your shotgun, you don't pump it a second time. You pump it and squeeze. This, he's loaded up right. Now, freeze. When he took that hitch, the hitch is when the ball should have come out. And even without a strong arm, the Drew Breeses, if you throw with anticipation, how many times have you seen Gronk catch this ball? How many times do you see Dallas Clark catch this ball? How many times do you see Jason Witten catch this ball? How many times do you see Jay Novacek from Aikman? Why? Because Aikman would have gone 3 foot in the ground, ball out. I love Jalen Hurts, but his mechanics are the sole reason, even with Kendricks not having anybody to hold him, was able to continue to get depth, and he barely got it. If that ball is on time to that window, I trust my arm would have fitted in anytime, and I don't mean that arrogant. I'm just telling you, a quarterback that throws on time with a decent arm fits it. A quarterback with a great arm that takes a hitch and slides is going to be late, and the ball is going to get tipped regardless of how strong your arm is.
Yeah, I'm not ever calling that play with Jalen Hurts, though. See, I got to look at the call and the play call and the coach, because that's
but they did. But that's a problem.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's not his strength. So I'm now all of a sudden I'm going to depend on this guy to make that throw when no occupy of the mic, no backside drive route concept, no under crosser, no Saquon in the flat right now pulling
basically
the mic.
A check down anywhere. That's to hold somebody. JB, let me tell you this though. You're right. The concept's bad, but I can tell you this. See, think about this. If you know your weakness, what do? If you know your weaknesses as a play caller, that, okay, I like it because they're getting wide. You think you can get the bender in there, right? You know what I'm saying? You think you can fit that in there. And even though he doesn't have a strong arm and you're questionable, will he throw it on time? The reminder of hit that third step and let it rip. But when you know, what was Drew Brees so great at? He didn't have a strong arm. What would he have done on that? He would have taken a hitch. The ball would have been out on time. Because it's like a guy, I mean, listen, if you're a guy that doesn't have 4.3 speed, you better be a great route runner on the perimeter and understand 12 means 12 means 12. It doesn't mean run a 14-yard route when I call a 12-yard route. In this one, I preach it and preach it and preach it since they were in elementary school. 3 out of the gun, it's 3 rhythm. Under center, it's 5 rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bam. Put your foot in the ground and let it go. Transfer your weight and rip it with the lower half, drive through it. You can't hold a bender or a seam. This ball should be caught. Matter of fact, go back one more time. The perfect play, and Brian Billick and I talked about this forever. This ball should be caught 18 to 22 yards on a 1 ball. Now, where's this ball? Where's the snap at? Where's this ball originally? Freeze. So what is that? The 5, 10, 15, 20, 28-yard line or so? This ball should be caught no later than 22 yards, so on the 6, and no earlier than what would 18 yards be? What's 18 minus 20? 28 minus 18. Put on the 10. So let's see where the ball would have been caught without a hitch. Freeze. Now look how deep. If this ball's caught inside the 5 or hit inside the 5 or tipped, then we got a problem. You cannot throw this ball at 24 yards. It's not designed on seam routes or benders. It is 18 early, 22 is late. There's that window of 4 yards where this ball, if it's thrown on time, that's where the ball's got to be. So, and you got to take away the drop too. But from the line of scrimmage, it's an 18 to 22-yard throw. And when you hitch like this, it's a longer throw. It's longer. It takes longer to get there. And you give people a chance. These are NFL friggin' players. These aren't 7th graders that don't know how to drive on it. They see the hitch. They see the bender, nobody to hold. 3 guys drive on it. Even then, if he throws it on time, there's space there. And at high school, 12-yard window. College, 8-yard window. NFL coffee can size window. And this is a big coffee can. This is a Yeti. Throw that bitch in there on time. Ball should be out now. He waits till he sees the receiver's 2 eyes, and you're late. Got to throw it without seeing him. You got to throw it when the back of the head, before that head turns. That ball has got to be on him when he turns his head. So play design, all that, the quarterback's got to be better on time with that. You cannot hitch in that throw, especially in the red zone where it's even more compressed and they got less room to cover.